Hey guys, so if you have a Binance account and you are a US resident and you're having some troubles accessing that account, maybe it's because you have a Binance.us account, but right now you're in one of the states where Binance.us is not supported, like New York or Texas, or maybe you have a Binance.com account, the international website, but right now you're actually in the United States and you're going to get a message like this saying that Binance.com is unavailable and they want you to go to Binance.us, and you can close this, but then it's going to say that Binance.com is read only and you can't really do anything because right now you're in the United States. So what you need is something called a VPN. Now this one right here is called ExpressVPN, and VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. And what it's going to do is make it seem when you're on the internet as if you're somewhere else in the world. So any website or application you use will think that you're in the location that you choose in the VPN, and it doesn't matter where you physically are. So for example, in ExpressVPN, I can just go here to the location, click France, and X that, go and click to connect on this big button right here. And now I can go back to Binance. And just like that, I don't get any message. That read only message goes away as well, and I'd be able to use Binance.com regularly as normal. So that's how you can use a VPN like ExpressVPN, and there are some others here that I also recommend, NordVPN and Surfshark. All three of these are really good options if you want to be able to access Binance and not run into any issues with your location. Now, if you want to find out more about these three VPNs, I'll have more useful links and information in the description below. But there is one other thing that you should be aware of when you're accessing Binance, and that's their KYC procedure. And what that means is that they're going to try to do identity checks and verification in order to make sure that you are who you say you are. And they're going to ask for some personal information. They may ask you to supply pictures of your ID and a selfie. They may want you to have a phone number that's going to be linked to the address of the account. So if you make an account in New Jersey, they're going to want you to have a US or a New Jersey registered phone number. So a VPN is going to be for somebody who has their account set up already or who can supply that documentation and that information, but wants to avoid having any issues with their location when accessing the crypto exchange. Now, in terms of which VPN to go with, when it comes to accessing crypto exchanges, these are my top recommendations. And not only because they just work really well, they'll make you seem like you're in France, and they will hide the fact that you are even using a VPN. And that's very important because many websites will detect that you're using a VPN, but these over here, ExpressVPN, Nord, and Surfshark, will all hide the fact that you're using a VPN. With Express, it's going to happen automatically. You don't have to do anything. With NordVPN, you're going to want to go into specialty servers and use obfuscated servers. These are going to be special servers that are going to work to hide the fact that you're even using a VPN. And with Surfshark, you can get the same feature. Just make sure that you go into your settings over here, go to VPN settings, and make sure that you select OpenVPN, UDP, or TCP. Of these two, UDP is generally the faster one and the more recommended one, although depending on your network, TCP might be better, but either way, just make sure that you have OpenVPN selected, and that way, when you connect up to Binance, it'll have a much harder time even realizing that you're using a VPN. The main reason why, after testing out many different VPNs, both free and paid, I've wound up recommending these three is because they have the best record when it comes to their no logs policy audits, meaning that they promise not to keep any user information. The thing is, we have to take them at their word. We don't have any way of verifying that. So what VPN companies will do is bring in outside companies to inspect their systems and check out what's going on in the company and report that there is really no logs happening, that they aren't keeping track of any personal data. And that's the best that we can get at an independent, unbiased report about what's going on with these VPNs. And ExpressVPN right here has done the most of these security audits. They have done a ton of them, and they have a really, really good reputation when it comes to privacy and security. The Turkish government even tried to get personal information about their users one time during an investigation, but ExpressVPN just didn't have it, and they couldn't supply the Turkish government with anything. And NordVPN as well has done 4 no logs policy audits, and Surfshark has done 3. So these are VPNs that if you're looking for privacy and security when you're accessing a crypto exchange, or if you're looking to hide the fact that you're using a VPN, these are the ones that I recommend, and they all work really well. I've tested them out, and I can definitely recommend ExpressVPN as the #1 option right here. Personally, it's my favorite VPN. It's just very simple and easy to use. NordVPN is also a really solid option. You're going to get a lot of different features, although there is a bit of a learning curve in order to get the hang of NordVPN. So I'll be sure to leave a full in-depth review for Nord and for all of these VPNs in the description as well. So you can find out more information about Nord if you want to check it out. And then Surfshark is the cheapest option. It's not as user-friendly as Express, and it doesn't have as many features as Nord, but for the price that you're paying, it is a really high quality VPN. So if you're on a budget, then I would definitely recommend Surfshark. It's probably the best VPN for the money that you can get, but if you do have a little bit of extra cash, I would definitely recommend going for something like Nord or ExpressVPN. So that's all for this video, guys. If you want to try any of these out, I'll be sure to have a discount link for you in the description that will save you some extra money. You'll also find those reviews and a lot more useful information in the description as well, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.